Hey guys, we went ahead and went live with this line of storms coming through. That very southern one's severe now. So we are just west of Laverne. We've seen about 2 or 3 cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, and shortly after that, you can see the rain's starting to come in on us now. I hope it fixes that, but that right there is some smoke from a lightning fire just to the northwest of Laverne. So this line of storms is starting to move through, so if you're at Fort Supply Lake, just letting you know this is on its way. We went ahead and went live since, even though it's not severe, which the southern part is severe, that's moving towards kind of the Follett, be moving towards the Shattuck, Ellis County. Yeah, I was going to pull over right here and see what the wind's showing. So these storms are kind of sort of just now starting to get their act together on the leading edge of this 35 mile an hour. It's a little bigger.
Kicking up right there.
.40.
I think you can probably see that horizontal rain out in front of us right now.
.50.
And we are just, I think Kyle said we are just a mile west of Laverne, so this is what is moving into Laverne right now.
Hey Andrew, we just took 55 mile an hour winds out of this storm right west of Laverne.
So if you're watching from Laverne, you know someone in Laverne. Pretty strong winds hitting right now.
So as these storms move to the southeast, Fort Supply, Woodward County, Ellis County, prepare for some pretty high winds. You guys can see it blowing pretty good right there.
You did say earlier there's a couple of rodeos, right?
Yes, yeah. There's a couple of rodeos going on in Woodward, so I imagine this is gonna be severe here before long. Pull off the road just a little bit.
One storm that is severe just south of us, it should actually pass, it's going to pass north of Follett. It looks like the hell cores come down in that, but just as quickly as it came down, it can go right back up. But it will soon be entering Ellis County, north of Shattuck here before long.
guys, this line of storm's gonna, the rain's amazing. But to get rain, sometimes you gotta deal with severe weather, and
especially in May. So we've been following some of the posts. They've had some big storms down around Elk City earlier. Produced golf ball to tennis ball size hail. Right now there's two big ones down there now still. One is just right over Dill City, south of Burns Flat, or south of Cordell now. Pass through Dill City and south of Cordell. There's another one. Another severe one southeast of Sweetwater. That one's headed down towards Sayre.
let them know about. We got 55 on our anemometer. So they're going to issue a severe warning now for Harper and Ellis counties.
Yeah, we're headed south. We just went through Laverne, headed south out of Laverne to stay out in front of these and bring them southeast. Like Kyle said, they're getting ready to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for this one. Do without the severe part, but like Kyle said, that the moisture is good. So hopefully these don't get too rowdy, but they hold together to at least give us some rain through Woodward County and all of northwest Oklahoma here.
That cell that's just to the south of Buffalo is starting to look a little better. I mean,
yeah,
it's sure picking up. This whole line's probably going to firm up, and as it moves to the southeast, it's going to keep firming up, and it's going to be a pretty big wind producer.
So it looks like that storm just south of Buffalo has some hail in it. And right on cue, they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, we are headed south. We just went through Laverne, a couple of miles south of Laverne now. it's all south of you now, as far as the main storm. Some are commenting on like Fort Supply, Woodward, Sheridan stuff. No, it's not that far yet. The line extends. Still a hill.
A little hill.
Just from Buffalo to the northeast, and then south of, just on the south side of Buffalo, a couple of miles is Elmore, and then Laverne. Pretty good storm on top of Woodward right now. Then a severe storm passing through the Texas Panhandle, kind of north of Follett, getting ready to come into Ellis County. So if all this holds together, yeah, Fort Supply, you're going to get some rain eventually here, Woodward hopefully, and hopefully the line should stay together. That's moves through northwest Oklahoma.
Cloud to ground just to the southeast of us, out in front of the rain.
Like we've been saying, there's been a lot of cloud to ground lightning out ahead of these, and have started, what have we seen, 4?
2, yeah, 3, maybe 4.
3, maybe 4 fires. So if this line kind of stays on the same trajectory, doesn't change much, even static, you should see some rain here after a while. Fargo up to Woodward, Fort Supply. So if you're on Fort Supply Lake, if you know someone there, they need to be getting off the lake. Like Kyle said earlier, there are 2 rodeos in Woodward currently.
We had 55-mile-an-hour winds on our anemometer just a little bit ago, just west of Laverne. So these storms are going to have some pretty high winds with them, especially. Got it. I can't remember what I was saying. Andrew started talking.
55-mile-an-hour winds, I think. Log cabin corner now.
And the further southeast it moves, the better it's going to start looking, and the more winds that are going to be associated with it. So definitely, if you're in a camper somewhere, I would find some shelter somewhere while this passes through. We had some little hail earlier. I would say probably pea size. But the more further southeast it moves, the bigger and better the storm's gonna start looking. Getting some pretty high winds right here.
Somebody stopped up there.
Oh, they're turning. Yeah, it's starting to firm up even better. So Fort Supply, Woodward, Fargo, Gage. Freedom. I mean, it's a long line of storms moving to the south and to the east. Some pretty good winds right here.
Moving southeast at 25 miles an hour, so they are moving at a pretty good clip. So we turn just at Log Cabin Corner. 2 or 3 miles east of there now, headed toward it.
You guys can see the, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a bunch of leaves on the highway here, so that's indicative of some hail and some very strong winds. So the hail's knocked the leaves off. The winds blew it. I mean, we're probably getting 55, maybe 60 mile an hour gusts through here on Highway 412. Trying to get out ahead of it. Just we want to try to stay right on the leading edge of it. This moisture is what we needed.
Yes.
Hail. So currently right now it's just some little pea-sized hail. Hopefully that stays pretty small. They've had some big storms down around Elk City today, and Elk City's gotten trashed with some pretty big hail. I've seen pictures that towards tennis ball size hail.
Yeah, we posted some pictures of golf ball, but yeah, we were getting reports of up to tennis ball on the southeastern side of Elk City.
Want to all right, guys, we're gonna pull over and I'm gonna see what the winds are here. You guys can see, I mean, it's .30 mile an hour, 34.
Good gust right there.
Yeah. .46. That was close to 50 right there. Oh, here it comes. So the most we've had so far is right at 50. Some pea-sized hail. All right, we're gonna keep on moving.
Yeah, Irving, we are between Laverne and May.
Yes, yeah. We haven't made it to May yet.
Headed east on 412, maybe 5 or 6 miles from May, bringing this line of storms in.
That looks really
from
cool
the
right there.
northwest. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see. It's almost like hail fog, but it's not. Pull over right here. There's the emergency vehicle. Probably headed up to Harper County.
Looks like May.
Or headed up to Laverne. Sorry, we are in Harper County.
So yes, we're trying to bring this line southeast and give Northwest Oklahoma a good drink.
Follett's right underneath it pretty good.
Follett's getting a good little hailstorm right now, or a bad little hailstorm, right?
Pretty gusty northwest winds.
There's some small hill pockets just to our south. That's what we went through, you know, like pea-size. So this pea-size isn't large enough to really do any damage to cars or homes. Looks like a little cell did pop up right over Shattuck. Doesn't look anything too crazy right now, except looks like some good rain in Shattuck right now.
We are coming into May right now. There's kind of little breaks in this line, so
We're just kind of right out in front of it now.
yeah.
So again, if you're on Fort Supply Lake, you know someone on Fort Supply Lake, they don't have a lot of time, but they do need to get off the lake. Potentially have gusts 50, probably could maybe see a 60 mile an hour gust. Like I said, the leading edge of that is just right behind us. We just went through May. Some cool momentous clouds.
Actually have blowing dust out ahead of all this. You see it kind of hazy just a little bit. I'm gonna turn the roof cam on. Put it on something over on
The screen's gonna go blue or in a second.
that. There's some dust.
I'm gonna scan here. Did you see some of this behind us?
I'm gonna pull into here right quick. Nope, maybe not. I'm not gonna get it.
So as you can see, there's heavier cells in amongst this line. Scan it. It's back behind this one.
Pretty good cell right there, just to our west. That one's moving.
East, southeast.
Yeah, Fargo might miss it just to the north. Might be heading kind of towards Woodward.
Big cells, yeah, it's kind of still over Follett too.
That one's headed towards Shattuck.
Yeah.
Looks like.
So Shattuck, just in case. I mean, you got time now to get your cars inside. You know someone in Shattuck, you might let them know. There is a pretty strong storm right now. It has a pretty large hail core. Whether or not it's still there when it gets to Shattuck, no one knows for sure, but might take the chance.
It's going to be, along with wind and a little bit of hail, going to be quite a bit of cloud to ground lightning. So I always say lightning scares me more than the tornado does.
Yeah. You never know where that lightning's going to hit.
Fargo, laptop, let's kick
If you're around Fargo, north of Fargo, too, you might just prepare for a hailstorm. So, you know anyone in Shattuck or around Fargo, to the north of Fargo a little bit? Currently, that's where the two main hail cores that we're seeing are moving toward. Eventually, could be Woodward.
Copy that. We're getting ready to do a cut in. Southwest of us. Right there in your shot is that storm that's going to be just to the west of Fort Supply.
Jack, if you're talking Oklahoma City, still quite a ways. We're way up here in far northwest Oklahoma.
Yeah, Andrew, just to the west of Laverne, we had upwards of 60-mile-an-hour winds that came out of this storm. The hail has been pretty small so far. Piece size is what we've had. We're going to sit here and keep tracking it to the southeast. Andrew, back to you. So we are now southbound on the Fargo Blacktop. We're gonna try to get out ahead of this. So anybody Woodward at the rodeos that have been going on today, I would go ahead and make some preparations for getting a pretty big storm moving through Woodward here in just a little bit. We've had 55, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Hail looks like it could be coming up just a little bit. So I would go ahead and make some preparations to keep things safe out there. This storm right here is the one that's just to the west, southwest of Fort Supply that you're seeing on our shot. It's the core's starting to come up on it quite a bit. Actually, the core right to the north of Fort Supply is coming up too. So moving into Woodward County, we could have a pretty rough go here in just a little bit. 55, 60-mile-an-hour winds, some hail. I don't expect the hail to be huge, but could be upwards quarter size, something that could do some damage to a vehicle. So we're going to get down here. We're on the Fargo Blacktop. We're going to get down to the... Yeah, I think Tom's over there. Yeah, we need to watch that storm just to the northwest of Shattuck, being tail end Charlie. But it is a cold front storm, so Tom's down there, and then everybody's out today for News 9. So we're going to get down here and try to bring this into Woodward, and then we'll keep continuing on to the southeast with it. A lot of beneficial moisture coming out of it right now, and that's what we need. We need more of it. And we could get more of it. Models have been hitting that. Oh, there's a fire. Oh no, that's a dust devil. Try to get it on that. This is out ahead of it. Got it on there?
I can't really see it too.
Looked like a plume of smoke, but it was actually a big dust devil that went up.
So this line right now is actually got quite a few hail pockets in it. It extends all the way up to Freedom. Even Freedom, I'd prepare for a hailstorm. If you know anybody, you're watching from Freedom. So anyone from where Shattuck, you need to just get your cars inside if you're able to. Not saying everyone is going to have help, but there's quite a few help pockets in this line.
Some pretty strong west winds right here where we're at, blowing out of this storm. Dust. There is quite a bit of dust blowing out ahead of this. 37. Which one's the cut through Airport Road? Stop right up here, guys, and we'll get a and Fargo, you guys are potentially getting ready to get hit with a pretty strong winds.
One more mile
after this one. Down here, and then we can. Hey, give me a shot. Making sure. We're gonna wait right here for just a minute, and I want to try to get what the wind is. One.
Dust blown across right there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like one of those hill cores is just about on us.
Switch. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna switch to our dash cam.
We are about 6 miles,
Try to clean the window off.
5 or 6 miles west of the Woodward Airport.
Had a bug on there.
Trunkline Road, right?
Yeah.
So Shattuck, it looks like that big hill core is going to go to your southwest. Stay south of you. It could change.
South just a little tiny bit.
But let's hope that stays south of you. Still gonna get the rain.
Here's Pale.
say that hill was just to our west. Right on cue.
Alright guys, we're gonna see how big this hail is.
Kyle sure likes getting in the hill.
Fargo and Woodward, gonna be a pretty big hailstorm. Anybody at Fort Supply Lake?
You don't have much time. Like we said again, north of Freedom, down to west of Freedom. The Fort Supply. So you're kind of seeing it there in the hills. Fargo that's kind of dropping south. May go just on the north side of Fargo. We're about to come into Fargo. We just now got out of the hills.
So we had every bit of 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-sized hail out of that.
That's either going to pass just a mile or two north of Fargo, or maybe even the north side of Fargo. Oh, it just kind of filled in a little bit. I think Fargo, you're probably going to get a little hail here in a minute.
Oh, Fort Supply, you're in it right now.
Yeah.
Try to get back east. Get over there.
Yep, you're good. So in Fargo now, headed east. up toward Woodward. Get on a bike?
That's what I was just wondering.
Four-wheeler or something?
Somebody on a three-wheeler.
Oh.
Hey, Andrew.
So
Hey,
Woodward,
just letting you know, we've taken 65-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail just to the north of Fargo.
so the hail core, just from Fort Supply to the north up to west of Freedom, south of Fort Supply that we just went through. All this is moving toward Woodward, so just out of precaution in Woodward, if you got a little bit of time, try to get your cars inside if you're able to.
Yeah, Woodward, you can get your vehicles put up.
And Fargo too. Right now, that other big hail core is still staying west of Shattuck. It's kind of drifting a little bit east. So Shattuck, I mean, I would get cars up in Shattuck too, if you're able to, just in case. Still taking really strong winds here. We're
Say
5 miles east of
60 to 65-mile-an-hour winds right here.
east of Fargo, 5 miles east of Fargo.
That core is really coming up right there, right over Fort Supply. If you're at Fort Supply Lake, I hope you guys are taking shelter.
That core extends from Fort Supply probably 4 miles, 5 miles to the north. So if you're up in that area,
So anybody out camping, Canton Lake, you're going to be next on this. So just prepare now, know where you're going to go whenever it gets closer. I mean, there's hail blowing out of it all the way up here to where we're at.
yes,
I feel
Roxy,
these winds are
about to start in Woodward.
these winds are going to get even stronger.
That does look like Fargo. You're going to get a little hail here in just a second. Like the hill course west of Woodward have come down just a hair, but that doesn't mean they're not going to ramp back up here in just a few minutes.
We are just south of the airport right now, Woodward Airport.
part of this entire line is headed southeast. Extends from Freedom down through Fort Supply, down through Fargo, Gage, Shattuck, little southwest of Shattuck, and it also extends on up into Kansas.
Yeah.
That's Benny Hill through Woodward. It's come down just a hair. I mean, there's still some small hill in it. But that's what these hailstorms do. They come down in intensity, they intensify, they come down, they just repeat that cycle. But I'd still have our cars up just in case. Coming into Woodward now, passing the Terra plant.
CF.
Oh, CF. I've lived out here for a while. I remember this Terra. CF. Just going to be some nice beneficial rain though. It will be a quick hitter though. Getting ready to pass 48th Street in Woodward, headed east.
Winds are starting to get gusty in Woodward.
So if you're just jumping onto Woodward, you have just a couple of minutes to maybe get your car inside or under some kind of cover. There are sporadic hail cores in this. Looks like a little bit of hail on the north side of Fargo now. Next, Moreland, Sharon, places to the north and south. Freedom, coming into Freedom now.
You see all this blowing dust that's going to be out ahead of it. Blowing.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can sit on there, but here, yeah, you can hear the Domino's truck stop. A lot of blowing dust.
I might wait here for just a bit.
To wait here at 34th in Oklahoma for this to come on in.
Doesn't look like much with the sun shining behind.
Bigger cell just down to more to our west, maybe. Looks a little more ominous over there. wasn't us.
You guys can see the trees really starting to blow.
Yeah, this isn't going to be just a good long-term soaking rain, but at least it's some rain.
Back up just a little bit.
Kind of brown skies from the dust. Start seeing the power poles or power lines whip around. Street lights up there. There's that Hellcore east of Fort Supply headed southeast, and right now looks like that one's headed right toward Moreland, so precautionary if you can get your cars inside or under cover in Moreland, just in case.
The way it looks, Woodward might miss out on a lot of the hail. Might still be some small.
Still a small cord east of Fargo, 3 or 4 miles. But on that track, it'll go south of Woodward.
I don't know where that hit, but that was bright.
That was bright.
Like I said earlier, the cloud to ground lightning in this too, so if you're out camping, even if you don't get a lot of the wind or hail, the lightning is still very dangerous.
In Woodward, you're just kind of on the leading edge of it still, maybe sprinkling, but there's a little heavier stuff still coming.
We are going by where we had one of the big fires here in Woodward. So any beneficial rain on it since then, so this is pretty welcome for it. I don't know if you guys can see that just off to our left.
Someone asked about Bowling Springs. Yes, it's headed toward Bowling Springs. Actually, the one pocket that does have decent hell core still is kind of headed down toward Bowling Springs, toward Moreland area. Winds are picking up here, 20 seconds down. I mean, the whole line is really starting to weaken some. Not as much red in there.
Yeah, that was close.
Maybe from what it was.
So we're making our
a lot of lightning.
lead.
Yeah. Some intense lightning.
Almost looks like he's trying to surge out. If it does that, it's going to be a huge wind producer. There's still going to be some areas in it that'll have some pea, maybe dime size hail. But for the most part, the hail cores look like they're starting to come down just a little bit. Going to turn on Highway 270 right here. Get south of town just a little ways.
So yeah, eventually toward Alva, the line has moved through. Freedom's on the back side of it. We'll be moving toward Alva next on the northern edge of it.
Woodward, it's moving in on the west side right now. Nothing tornadic. Just a lot of wind and maybe just a little bit of some hail.
North of Woodward, a mile or a couple of miles, it's showing 42 mile-an-hour winds. Around Fargo still showing 45.
That's radar estimated, so
True, yes.
that's looking way up. They're definitely 60 to 65, maybe upwards of 70. I'm gonna come down here south out to Woodward just a little ways. We'll turn around.
Just go a few things at Sayre. There's a severe thunderstorm warning over Sayre. Whoa, that was bright.
That was really close. So Woodward Mezzanette's had a wind gust of 49 so far.
Another storm between Carnegie and Fort Cobb that's severe. We said that a power flash, I mean not a power flash, but just electricity went off a minute in Weatherford, but probably just some winds. But nothing over Weatherford right now. The tree struck by lightning back there.
There's going to be a lot of stuff struck by lightning.
So, just behind the ONG building on Hanks Trail, cones just went off for Woodward, so you do hear emergency vehicles. Fire department's responding to the lightning strike behind the ONG on Hanks Trail.
I'm gonna switch cameras, guys.
See the pancakes.
Andrew, look at the leading edge of these storms. So this is the leading edge of those storms, guys. Baseball size hail and Sayre.
Looked like a pretty big storm there, yeah. Sayre getting baseball size hail currently. And like I said, another big storm right over Mountain View. Carnegie to Fort Cobb. This line, like we said, extends all the way up into Kansas. Getting ready to move in on Alva. Already passed through Freedom. Passing through Woodward right now.
Oh, that was cool. That was lightning. All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna turn around and I'll reposition the camera.
we are, what, 8 miles or so? 8 miles south of Woodward on 270 towards
Yeah.
Sealing.
So there's the leading edge to the east of us. So look at Mesonet C. $49.
You can see how this is just elevated like a mezzo.
So this line's still pushing to the southeast. Sharon, you're getting ready to get hit by side, Sealing, Winoka. I just saw a cloud of ground come out of that other storm over there.
Jamie, we are about 8 miles south of Woodward on 270, looking back to our west, basically, right? At this leading edge. Like Kyle said, nothing tornadic in these. Just a line of some good beneficial rain we desperately need.
That lightning bolt was just out here in front. Start moving, moseying.
Southeast.
Yeah. He's got a cut in coming up, so you might just keep that on there.
right now. Moving into Moreland. Like I said, Moreland, you could see some pea-sized hail. Sharon, same. To the south of Sharon, same. Could be some small hail in that. Again, it's already passed through Freedom, almost. Coming into Alba right now. Then extends on up into Kansas, up by Arthur and Iowa. Winoka will be moving into your area soon. Using our 360 night vision camera right now for this. So some of that backlight's going to be a little brighter.
It's still pretty bright back there.
Yeah.
The sun's setting.
Quite a few days since we've seen some beneficial rain out here. Over Arnett, getting ready to move through your area. Tail end of it is over by Higgins. So from Arnett to Sharon, Byside, you'll be next.
All the way up north of Alba.
All the way up north of
Cherokee.
Alba. Yeah. In Woodward have rain gauges, you might let us know how much you got.
Mesonet and Woodward showed the highest wind gust was 49. Freedom was 50. But there's definitely going to be some higher pockets of wind gusts that we went through that were upwards of 65. It's big. I say you're getting ready to get hammered with some high winds and a decent little hailstorm.
Now it's picking back up, like we said earlier. They pulse up, come down. Pulse back up.
It's pretty photogenic.
See some of that lightning in there every now and then too. Kind of light up. Nice little lightning strike behind the cloud.
Copy that. Give me a good shot. Southbound and down on 270. They kind of broke off right over Woodward, so there's kind of a northern heavier cell that's going over Moreland right now, and then the southern part is really starting to surge south. Went through Sharon, getting ready to hit Vici.
I say you don't have much time to get your cars inside.
Yeah, Andrew, we are southeast on Highway 270 right now. You're looking back towards the Vici area. That cell right there came up in the last about 5 minutes or so. So Vici, better get ready for some very high winds and some small hail. Back to you, Andrew.
I guess everybody heard Kyle's hit there. Vici don't have much time at all. Actually, you're probably getting high winds at Vici right now.
Oh, let's see. We're gonna pull over right here, guys, for just a minute and get a quick look at it. Spot right there.
As you can tell in the shot, quite a bit of lightning with that. Mostly a lot of cloud to cloud. Occasionally some cloud to ground. Randy, unfortunately, yes. Like we said, it was that one line. The storm's kind of a quick hitter, moving at 25 miles per hour. Hopefully dumped a little rain. What we need sometime is that day-long soaker of a rain. If anyone in Woodward can, if you do have a gauge or anything, maybe let us know how much you did get.
See that dust blowing?
Oh yeah. So right now that front is probably pretty good gust front with that wind-wise. Rolling through Vici right now, probably some small hail. Going through Moreland right now. Arnett still getting a little rain. Let's move south of Shattuck now. Pass through Freedom, getting ready to move into Winoka. Moving through Alva. Alva, you're still got some rain to go. And this line now actually really extends all the way up to Wichita. All part of this cold front. Kyle's out getting some pictures right now on his phone.
This lightning is almost continuous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep on going.
Yes, it's pretty much through Woodward now. Maybe getting some sprinkles in parts of Woodward. Still raining in Moreland. Vici is probably getting some hail right now, some heavy winds, heavy rain.
The lightning is almost continuous in it.
That's what's moving through Vici right now.
Andrew, the lightning in this line of storms is almost continuous. So Sealing, Canton Lake, if you're camping at Canton Lake, this is your heads up.
Just got a report from Vici that yes, there was definitely hail in that storm. It's passed
It looks
through.
like it.
Passed through Vici now, though.
How big was the hail?
How big was it, Ashley? Just hit neutral. High winds in Clinton. P size at Vici. P close to Vici. Yes. Stevie, we are on Highway 270 between Woodward and Sealing. Probably right in the middle, right? Or, no, we're close to Sealing.
We're almost, yeah.
Yeah, we're 6 miles or so from Sealing. Arnett just had some hail also.
Hornet did.
Yes.
Yep, I can see that. Tologa. Tologa, you've got that pretty heavy cell that just went through Vici is headed your way, Tologa. So they got pea size, maybe a little bit larger, it looks like, in Vici. So prepare for quite a bit of small hail in Tologa. Could get a little bit bigger. Looks like the hail core is coming up just a little bit.
Kay said it was pretty soft hail,
Good.
so that helps. Yes, not do as much damage. Again, we're passing that gas plant just outside of Sealing. So we're on 270 about 3 or 4 miles from Sealing, headed south.
Looking at models earlier, we could have some more storms. Doesn't look too crazy, but more rain overnight, hopefully. I haven't looked at the latest. But hopefully that comes true and we can get some more rain up in northwest Oklahoma and western Oklahoma. I know the Panhandle needs it too.
earlier, Kyle brought up Canton Lake. You know, this is still headed toward Canton Lake. So if you're camping out there, you expect some pretty high winds, possibly some small hail.
A lot of rain and lightning.
And a lot of rain and lightning.
Just go into ceiling, maybe get on the southern side of it.
Still an impressive.
It's starting to bow out. So, like we were talking Canton Lake, this line that's kind of moving this way is starting to bow out, and if it stays on track the way that it's coming right now, Canton Lake is potentially going to get some pretty high winds.
When it bows out like that, yeah, the winds really increase.
Almost acts like it's moving more easterly now instead of southeasterly. There for a minute it was moving almost straight south, I feel. So we're coming into ceiling right now. Ceiling, prepare for some pretty strong winds. You're going to be on the very northern edge of it, but winds are going to get pretty gusty here in the next 10 minutes or so.
We're in ceiling. Looking back at that storm that went through Visay with our 360 night vision camera. I was getting a good rain, lots of lightning and thunder, heavy rain in Mutual now. Almost has that pancake.
Yeah, that hail core really picked up just right north of Visay. It's really surging out right here.
Stays that way here in just a few minutes.
We're gonna come just a few miles
We'll feel it.
south of Sealing. Maybe up here on top of this hill. Still a south wind here. You can see the one thing, we watch the windmills.
Winds tell us a lot out here. What does a south wind mean here?
Do what? Sorry, they're talking about here. I can't hear nothing.
So the winds tell us a lot out here. What does a south wind tell you?
South wind, we've got moisture that's convecting up into this advection right in front of the cold front that's moving to the southeast. So still getting quite a bit of moisture pull up from the southeast, the Gulf moisture. I think right up here on top of this hill is where we'll find somewhere to pull off up here. It's actually a really photogenic storm.
Yeah. Especially with all the lightning.
You know, and it hasn't been too crazy, so some wind and
Some people are noticing too how cool the cloud formation is and all the lightning.
Alright guys, we're gonna try to find somewhere up here to pull off into. Maybe right here at this tower. Back up, maybe. Sealing, you're getting ready to get some really high winds. Tologa, same thing.